Okay, now, so we're going to be looking at starting up Traktor Scratch Pro 2. Okay, this guy's starting to load up now, as you can probably see there. Okay, so Traktor Scratch Pro, nicely loaded up, nothing in the decks just yet. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're gonna, so I don't know if you can just see this here. I'm just going to go into my utility menu, you know, just command and comma, and up the top here, first things first, audio setup. Okay, defaults to built-in. You want to change that so you can see just there, Denon 1600. Okay, so we're selecting that. We've got 96K. And my particular settings, I've got 12 milliseconds. I can obviously drop that down if I want to get a quicker response from the hardware, but we'll leave it there for the moment. We're going to go here to output routing. You can see there it's got to be on external mode. Okay, when it's on external mode, you're going to get all of these options. Just make sure you have the output channels set correctly. Input routing corresponds to that. And then the main one you want to check is this guy here, the timecode setup. Okay, so I'm on timecode setup, and here are my virtual decks assigned to the virtual channels, which are coming from the X1600. Okay, now this is where I can double check all of my settings physically are correct, because for example, I can go to the deck here, I've got my timecode vinyl, I pop that on there, go to the other deck, pop that on there, and now if I click play, you hear that high-pitched sound, the vinyl's turning, and when I look here I can see there's my circle. If I lift up the needle, nothing, put it down, nothing, put it down, you get the data. Same again on this side here, I click play, turning, sound, so you can see the signals are coming through. Okay? Right, hate that noise. Right. So they're off now. Now we want to get the same on the Denons, okay? So Denon, currently in CD mode. I'm going to click play. I just so happen to have a Traktor Scratch CD in there, timecode CD. You can see I'm just hitting a key at the moment, so you can see something's coming through. Because it only defaults to 3 seconds, that's why it's not staying on for much longer than that. And the same if I click the other deck. It goes on perfect circles only for 3 seconds. Now the reason I'm still in the normal CD mode is because of a bug we had in 2.02 where, if I can just come out for a second. Alright, so just close that down there. Right, so what I want to make sure is when I go to the calibration mode, and if you can see that just there, this calibrate mode there, you definitely want it to say CD. Okay? And the same on this virtual deck here. You want it to be saying CD, right? And the only reason it does that is because I've used the original, if I just pop it out here. Right, because I'm using this original timecode CD, okay, control disc, that's why I was able to say CD. If I don't use that and I just go straight into hybrid mode, then it'll calibrate and say unknown failure, and it doesn't look good. And in the 2.02 version, it actually made the queue in erratic. It would skip when you're trying to line up a track and stuff. It's not really good. 2.03 seems a bit more stable, but you know, just to get rid of the message at least, if you do it that way using the original CD, you tend to have less problems. Anyway, I'm about to go into hybrid mode now. Before I do that, just go back to the Mac here, and I'm going to go into the system settings and preferences. So you can see here at the moment, just a Denon X1600, no mention of 3700s. I'm now going to go back to the Denon. I'm going to click on MIDI. You see that there? So I've got MIDI. I'm going to go to hybrid MIDI. I'm going to press OK. You see it says connecting. And if you look up here now, just being a bit patient. There, do you see that? The 3700 popped up. So that's the first 3700 popping up, and it says PC mode completed. Okay. I'm going to go across to the second Denon. I'm going to click MIDI. I'm going to turn to the right, hybrid mode, PC mode connecting, and you see it there, bang, the second 3700's popped up. That's brilliant. Okay, so we're going to close this screen down now. We don't need it anymore. We're going to go back into the menu, just like so. And then now, if we get some tracks loaded onto this guy here, let's try this one. In fact, I'm doing it manually and I can show it to you here directly. Now, because we're in MIDI mode, I don't know if you saw that, but I've now got a display coming through showing me which track is currently loaded onto that deck there. And I can change this now, so if I just scroll with this guy here, I'm using the M Club 2.1 mapping at the moment for the Denons. If I scroll, you can see how things are moving on the display, so I can actually change stuff here without using the Mac, which is obviously the whole point of doing this guy. So let's try this guy here. So I've just loaded that by clicking on the button, and I now have a new track loaded, as so, with the display coming up. Same on this other deck here, at the moment nothing's loaded. If I use this scroller here, you can see how it's changing the display on a particular track listing here. So I click OK and it loads that track up. Okay. So now, let's click play on this guy, and you can see there I've got movement. Because I've got the X1600, I've got a sound there but no volume yet, so all I need to do is just do this guy. How's if I turn the mixer up? Alright, and now we've got sound. And again, just a bit more volume. This guy's down at the moment, so I want to pump him up. So hopefully you can hear that coming through now. There you go, movement.
Pondering where to start, I stand on the fringe between talking loud and saying nothing loud.
Okay guys, hopefully that was enough to at least get you connected on to the Traktor Scratch Pro 2 settings there. Any problems, give us a shout at info@djsemi.co.uk. I'll try and assist you a bit further, but trust me, you want to get these guys up and running as quickly as you can. Definitely the way forward. All the best, see ya, bye.